This is Impact Wrestling Moose, and you're listening to Perched on the Top Rope.
The following announcement has been paid for by Perched on the Top Rope.
Welcome, everyone, to Perched on the Top Rope. I am your host, Lee Walker, and as you heard from that show opener, today we have joining us Impact's Moose. Moose, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm actually meal prepping some food right now, so
all right,
yeah,
awesome.
I have to go off because I don't want all the listeners and viewers to steal my recipe. So,
well, I want to give a shout out to you, Syracuse, New York, the next city over from me. I know you played college ball there. I got to watch you a lot, so loved what you did for the Orangemen. Go Orange!
Oh, thank you.
You just spoke about your meal prep. And one of the first things that struck me was July 27th on your personal Facebook, you posted an image of yourself that said, "Bound for Glory." Moose, you have had quite the body transformation. How did you do it? And what was the reasoning behind it all?
How did I do it? Okay, so everybody remembers I had the feud at Slammiversary with EC3, and EC3 is a good buddy of mine, and he helped me with it. I mean, EC3 is like one of those guys where he's very strict with his diet, and he has like insane mindset when it comes to dieting. So I asked him for the tricks, and he told me pretty much what to do and how to do it. And through EC3, I met a guy called AJ Sims, which AJ Sims is a coach of a lot of guys who have won the bodybuilding competitions. And me and AJ became really close friends, and he showed me some of his methods. And as when you start focusing on losing weight and living a healthy lifestyle, it becomes addictive, especially once you start seeing results. So when a week goes by, you step on the scale and you lose 5 pounds, you're like, oh my God, I lost 5 pounds. And another week goes by, you lose another 5 pounds. You're like, oh my God, I've lost 5 pounds. So it becomes really, really addicting to the point where you're like, man, I want to see how much more weight I can lose, or I want to see if I can now get a 6-pack, or now I want to see if I could get this curve on my legs. And it got to the point where I was so, and still am, so addicted to it, where I started measuring how much food I would eat and how much cardio I would do in the morning. And I would set my alarm to wake up at 6 a.m. so I could do cardio. And before you know it, I looked in the mirror and I was like, geez, I have a 6-pack. Like, what the hell? Like, so all this wouldn't be possible without picking the brains of EC3 and then being good super friends with AJ Sims. Well, big shout to those two guys.
Yeah, and congratulations, because you look fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Now, before we get into Bound for Glory, I got a couple of questions before that. What does it mean for you to be part of the Tag Me and United campaign?
Oh, that means a lot, man. Like, unfortunately, this year we've lost, not only this year, just in the last couple of years. And I feel like this only strikes the wrestling community, which is so weird. The mental health, and a lot of people killing themselves and suicide because of some of the mental health stuff that they've been dealing with. And we've lost people where I wouldn't necessarily consider them like close friends, but people I've definitely been on shows with and hung out with. And it's sad just because their mental health stuff was hidden, and not a lot of people was knew about it, or they didn't talk to a lot of people about it. So once and I mean, and then me personally, I deal with a form of mental health. It's not as serious as depression and some of the things that some other people suffer with, but it's still considered mental health. I suffer from real bad anxiety, and I get really, really bad panic attacks, which I've had friends like Eddie Edwards, something that my wife deals with every single time I have a crazy episode where she has to calm me down and like try not to call the ambulance, you know. So once I was brought with the opportunity to do it, I mean, it was a no-brainer, you know.
Yeah, wow, I had no idea about that. I did watch the stuff on the campaign, and I'm very glad to see that campaign has started for the wrestling community and everybody as a whole as well.
Right.
Moose, you've been trained under Mr. Hughes. You also trained under Scott D'Amore. What does it mean for you to be versatile along with the trainers? Because I've watched you hit standing moonsaults, a Spanish fly, fall away moonsaults off the top rope. The lead up question, besides the training with those two, is also, how do you feel about yourself in the way as a heavyweight, redefining how heavyweights wrestle?
I mean, honestly, I mean, I guess it's a good because I tell people I'm kind of like one of the guys who started that style of wrestling. I remember when I came into the Ring of Honor and doing crazy stuff and thinking I was Spider-Man and some of the stuff I was doing, and then right afterwards was guys like Donovan Dijak came in and some other names, and they was doing the same thing. And but honestly, looking back at it, it's great to do those things. But now I feel like it's become an easy way to pop the crowd. That's why I kind of like try to move away from doing those things and save those moments for like a super, super, super big event, you know, because I feel like it's an easy way to pop the crowd. And you see a big guy doing the moonsault, everybody thinks, oh, this big guy can wrestle, but wrestling is more than just doing moonsaults and doing top rope Spanish flies. It's the little intricate things that you do, and the little intricate ways you get into moves, that way is the way you sell, is the emotion you show. And so I try to stay away from doing all that stuff because I don't want to be known as a good wrestler just because I could pop off a backflip. I want to know as a good wrestler because of actually I know the skills. I have the skills and I have the tricks and I have show the emotion, and you know.
Yeah, and I think that's an answer that Mr. Hughes would greatly appreciate, being one of those kind of old school trainers, if you will, when it comes to knowing the fundamental and the basics of professional wrestling.
Right.
You know, speaking of Bound for Glory, October 23rd, live in Las Vegas. Last week on Impact, yourself and W. Morrissey announced you'll be part of the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match, which involves 20 men. We know that the winner receives their trophy and a contract for a title match of their choosing within 1 year. When you made that announcement last week with Morrissey, I noticed that, you know, you've had teamed with him in the past. Will this alliance be a one-off, or will you continue to team with him after Bound for Glory?
We'll see. I mean, one thing we've established ever since we started this alliance, that we're not friends. This is strictly business. So if I choose that I need to maybe take him out, it's a business. We're not friends. So I'm not stabbing you in the back. If you're not stabbing in the back, you're not stabbing me in the back if you decide you want to take me out. And I mean, if you saw the last week's episode, I told him in the face, hey, if we're the last two and I have to kick your ass to win that trophy, you best believe I'm going to do it, because I know you're going to do the same, man. And I feel like that's the best relationship you can have with somebody. It's a business relationship, and once it's all about myself, I'm going to do anything I need to do to take you out. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. As of right now, we have an alliance, and we'll see how long this alliance will last.
All right, and with that alliance being said, does it bother you not knowing that all the other names and participants part of the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match?
Not at all. I mean, I am the wrestling guy, so I have a lot of confidence in my skill, and so it really doesn't matter what number I come in at. It really doesn't matter who else is in the match. I'm very confident in myself, and I know I'm going to be just fine.
All right, great. And we know some of the names already from Brian Myers, Rich Swann, your alliance with Morrison, and Eddie Edwards. Now, when you first came into Impact, Eddie Edwards was actually the first person you feuded with all the way dating back to 2016. You recently feuded with him again. Would you consider him your arch nemesis in Impact?
Oh yeah. Obviously he's the face of the company. He's the hero of the company, and since he's the hero, I'm definitely the biggest villain of the company. And it's just one of those things that we're always going to fight forever. We're always going to have, we're always going to be, it's almost like he's the Superman to me being Lex Luthor, so we're always going to have that relationship, and it's always going to be something down the road between each other. We just don't know what it is. And I mean, I put him out. I injured him pretty bad, so I know whenever he comes back, he's going to be gunning after me. So, I mean, it's definitely a feud we're going to relive whenever he decides to come back, and I'm ready for it.
All right, yeah. We know that the winner receives a championship match of their choosing, with the contract lasting for up to 1 year. Do you have your mind made up which belt you'll go for?
I mean, I think everybody already knows what belt I'm going to go for. I don't think that was a secret when I said I was going to enter the gauntlet. So, I mean, the only question is, when am I going to cash it in if I win it? I mean, am I going to wait till next year's Glory? Am I going to do it at Slammiversary? Am I going to do it in a TV show? Am I going to do it at App Special? I mean, I haven't made a decision, but I mean, just watch and you see. I guess pay attention to the shows and you see when I'm going to call my shot if I am successful with the plan that I've had set out.
Okay, well, with the Impact World Championship on the line, also at Bound for Glory, if you win and get the contract for the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match, who would you rather face, Christian Cage or Josh Alexander?
Honestly, it doesn't matter. They're both the same. They're both two Canadian guys. Both great wrestlers. Don't get me wrong. Definitely both great wrestlers. But like I said, I'm very confident in myself and my skill. I call myself a wrestling guy for a reason. So honestly, it doesn't matter which one of those two win it. I can beat both of them.
Okay. And what are your thoughts on the new Impact Digital Media Championship? Obviously, this is a new belt for Impact. We're going to have the first champion crowned at Bound for Glory. So what are your thoughts on the new championship belt and what it means for Impact?
The belt is actually cool. I remember seeing it for the first time when it was presented on social media. I thought it was a cool looking belt. I don't know much about what is about the digital championship. I don't know much about it, but I mean, it's definitely cool. I mean, I think it's going to give some of the younger guys and a chance to be on TV, a chance to compete for something. But my eyes is way bigger than the digital championship. I'm going after the world championship. I think that's a championship that has ran away from me and my whole career in Impact Wrestling. So that's where my eyes is at right now.
Yeah. And I don't blame you. My last question, Moose, is who is your Mount Rushmore of Impact Wrestling?
Oh man, that's a good one. Am I adding myself to this or?
You can add yourself to it all you want.
Okay, I mean, I'm not going to be that guy and add myself to it. I'm going to answer this question as Quinn Ojanaka and not as Moose. So, okay. Mount Rushmore of Impact Wrestling would have to be, first of all, AJ Styles. That's definitely number one. Number two would probably be Samoa Joe. Number three would be Chris Sabin. And number four will probably be Bobby Roode.
All right.
And people are probably going to be like, oh, you're not going to name Sting or you're not going to name Kurt Angle. No, I named all homegrown guys who made their future or made their whole career at Impact Wrestling. So, yes, I would definitely say Joe, AJ, Sabin, and see, the last one is kind of hard. It's either Bobby Roode or Eric Young. It's one of those two. I mean, who would you put on? Who'd be your four? Let me hear your four.
Okay, so I'm much like you. I'm very in tune with the homegrown talent of Impact. I would definitely say Eric Young. I would also pick, as a shocker to some people, might be Petey Williams. Okay. My last two would be, and this is hard because I had it, and then you started throwing some names out there, and it switched my opinion a little bit. I'd have to go with Samoa Joe and AJ Styles. Those would be my four.
Now I want to change mine.
Okay.
And the reason why I want to change mine because I feel like it's not fair that we don't have a girl in there.
Okay.
So I would say AJ. I would take Samoa Joe out, and I would add Gail Kim. So I would say AJ, Gail Kim, Eric Young, and Chris Sabin. And the reason why you have to have Chris Sabin in there because he is an eight-time X Division champion and a world champion. You have to add Eric Young in there because Eric Young has won every single title in the company's history. As much as I want to put Bobby Roode in there, who do you take out?
Oh, yeah, that's very tough.
AJ is a definite. Is a definite, and then Gail Kim is definite. So people might be like, "Oh, she made a career in WWE." No, she didn't, because nobody really knew Gail Kim was in WWE. She definitely made a name in Impact Wrestling.
I agree with you on that. I agree. Moose, I want to thank you for taking the time to speak with me today. Fans, make sure you order Bound for Glory, October 23rd, live in Las Vegas, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. You can order it from Fight TV, pay-per-view. Also, make sure you go and you get the Impact Pass through YouTube. 99 cents a month and it goes up to $4.99 for the Ultimate Pass. Make sure you check those out. Awesome exclusive content everywhere. Moose, I want to thank you again for doing this interview today, taking the time out of your busy schedule while you're meal prepping. And if you could, just let fans know where they can find you on Twitter and social media.
On Twitter is the Moose Nation, and on Instagram is Moose Nation 69.
Awesome. I want to thank you for taking the time out of your schedule today. And I'd like to wish you luck at Bound for Glory, and hopefully you become the next Call Your Shot Gauntlet match winner.
All right. Thank you, man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for watching that video. If you liked what you saw, make sure you hit the like button and make sure you hit subscribe so you can get all our content here at Perched on the Top Rope. And fans, remember, spoiler free's the way to be. I'm out.